So yeah, the last talk, I'm doing this one. I know most people in here, but my name's Scott Savage. I think I know everyone here. I actually went to school about the same time as HP, but I'm a reform science guy. I quit that science thing after dealing with all the chemistry and molecular biology that I could. Thought I was going to be a doctor, went to Big Sky to take a semester off after my undergrad in 1991, stayed there for about 20 years, and then moved up here after working in Ski Area World for 20 years to switch into backcountry forecasting. And one of my passions for a while has been looking at accidents, and specifically professionals, seeing how we make mistakes. You know, a really similar mindset to what Chris was talking about earlier, looking at, and it's not human factors, it's decision making. You know, we make bad decisions. It's not just weird mythical human factors. That has kind of led to something called Avalanche worker safety, and I guess I'll start off by asking a question. Who here has had a coworker or someone in their operation or a friend or a colleague who works in the avalanche industry has gotten killed while at work? I'll raise my hand because I have in 1996. That was about, it looked like about a quarter, 20-25% of the crowd. How about who's had someone be seriously injured while they're at work? A friend, colleague. So what do you think if we went and asked people at the grocery store or the folks who work in the bar or downstairs the same question? Think they'd be raising their hands? Probably not, right? You're not getting killed or seriously injured doing a lot of different occupations. And it turns out that it's really hard to study, but Ethan Green and Bruce Jameson, Spencer Logan, and some other people did what's been the one legitimate study looking at what the fatality rates are for our industry, avalanche professionals. And you know, you can't put a number on it very well because it's some pretty fuzzy math, figuring out how many of us there are and a lot of other things. But we resemble Alaskan crab fishermen and loggers and miners a lot more than retail workers. That's safe to say. It's a pretty dangerous environment. Doesn't have to be a dangerous profession, but it is a dangerous environment, that's for sure. So myself, Ethan Green, who works down in Colorado, and Bill Williamson, who's he likes to introduce himself as a former rock band roadie who's worked at almost every ski area in the western US, but he's the mountain manager at Schweitzer. Great guy. We formed this nonprofit, Avalanche Worker Safety, to form partnerships that will develop and promote tools to help avalanche workers stay safe. So we'll be safer at work. So the first thing we wanted to look at was near misses. If you look at pretty much any other industry that works in a dangerous environment, and specifically wicked environments, which are places where you don't get good feedback, it's either unambiguous or delayed, not right away. That's what defines a wicked environment. So you don't know necessarily if you made a good decision or a bad decision all the time. A very small percentage of the time you know that. And if you screw up, you pay the ultimate price. But if we look at aviation, which I mean Chris can attest to, is Chris still here? Yeah, still here. Aviation has a good near-miss, healthy near-miss reporting system. If you're a commercial pilot for a major airline, you get one, they call it a freebie a year, where it doesn't go on your record, nothing happens, you report it, and it goes to the National Transportation Safety Board, it goes into this big database. There's no repercussions for it. Medical industry, same thing. Military, other industries, whether it's oil drilling, especially offshore, mining, others. And then two that we'll come to here in a second, structural fire and LEO, who we stole a lot of what they had and worked with them. They've really seen the value in that and looking at near miss and close calls and incidents and try to figure out what's going on. Because what, if you want to solve a problem, what's the first thing you got to do? You got to understand the problem. You got to know what the hell it is, right? Never try to solve problems you don't understand. So right now, if our problem is how do we stay safe at work, we don't understand it. Because for a variety of reasons, no one's studied it to the point that we really understand, okay, this is what we should be doing. Here are some key things. So that's if you look at any kind of safety literature, this is National Safety Council. It's on a couple of our websites, but one of the key first steps to worker safety is near-miss reporting systems. So this, it's a little bit truncated, but came up with this kind of the flagship product of Avalanche worker safety, which is something called Avalanche Near Miss. It's patterned after the nationalnearmiss.org, which is firefighting and LEO. They had a lot of money to look into this, and it was a really good platform, we thought. A lot of other folks have agreed that what they're doing is they're definitely on the right track. I think they had like $7 million of money in the last 12 years to create what they created, and they were psyched to let us copy whatever we wanted to, basically, and help us along the way. So a huge help. That's the International Association of Fire Chiefs and Firefighter Near Miss. 3 key principles that we wanted to have when we designed this thing. One, it had to be useful. Useful to the people on the ground, most importantly. So the people that have their boots in the snow. Useful to the supervisors, program managers, operation managers, and then kind of secondary as researchers. There is some information there, but if we were designing something strictly for research, the ultimate utility was for the researchers. It'd be just really complicated, it'd be a huge pain in the ass to fill out. You can picture it, it'd be like, right? It'd be like, what kind of boots were you wearing? What kind of bindings? What was your dip? That's not what this is about. The idea is that you can fill something out in 5-10 minutes with a fairly decent narrative, because the big thing is what happened and what did you learn. Those are the key questions that we want to know. That you can fill that out and be done with this. So 1, it has to be useful. 2, it has to be free. Who wants to spend another 10 or 20 bucks a year or a month on another damn subscription to something, right? No one. So it had to be free. And 3, anonymous. The anonymity is huge, because the vast majority of people in this industry work for-profit operations, which is businesses that are trying to make money. And if you're a business that's trying to make money, you can't take on additional liability due to legal issues, and you can't drive customers away. So this whole project has to be completely anonymous, so operations aren't at a disadvantage if they participate in giving this information. I'm not going to go into the real nitty gritty, and I'll give you guys a website and some more information about it, but the basics of it, it's a pretty simplistic form with a bunch of drop-down menus, and there are a couple large text boxes that you can write whatever you want, write about what happened. And then, let's see, I guess one other thing I should have mentioned even before, that Chris and a friend of his, Clark Corey, are the programmers for this, which has been awesome working with someone who knows about avalanches and decision-making and snow. And probably a lot of you remember Clark Corey when he was around here. So that's been huge, not working with someone who doesn't understand the industry and what we do. And a lovely cover photo from Ben and Boston intern. So the near miss reports, right now it's not open for business, and I'll get to that in a second, but this is what a report looked like, and I'll bring up a live version here so we can look at that. But you get initially some good basic information. You can search, or you will be able to search for, you can see, filter it out by keywords, industry, snow cloud, a variety of things. So if you're looking for something in particular, you can find it. We envision that kind of growing in the future as we, 1, get more money, and 2, there's more demand to change the search parameters and basically the data output side of things. So right now it's pretty simplistic. Partners are huge. The American Avalanche Association was on board right away. This may ultimately someday become an American Avalanche Association project. We decided to start a different nonprofit to start out with, just to be more nimble, to make things be able to happen and not be tied to another organization for a variety of reasons. The National Association or International Association of Fire Chiefs, they've been huge. And then one industry that's conspicuously absent or one partner is the NSAA, which that's the National Ski Area Association, for those of you that are or aren't aware of them. And when we talked to their lawyers about it, their reaction was less than excellent about that. And you know, I worked in the ski area world for a long time, so I understand the inclination from the ski area lawyer who wants to defend the ski area and protect the financial interests of their company. That's their priority. Not to keep employees safe, to protect the financial interests of that company. That they want everything swept under the rug. That it's in their best interest that nothing has ever happened here. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know, we've never had an accident or a close call or a near miss. This is the first time it's ever happened. That's what they want to show in court if they're ever getting sued. Which is, you know, really contrary to, or, you know, there's a strong opposition to the idea of, okay, when we make mistakes, we want to get them out in the open, talk about them, document them, and learn from them so they don't happen again. So you have these competing interests to a certain extent. So I don't, you know, I don't mean to come across as, well, ski areas are evil. They're the evil enterprise. And they're just doing their jobs. That's the sad part of it, that we live in a litigious society, and that is their job to represent the financial interests of the company that's paying them money. So they're doing their job. We're trying to do our job as Avalanche professionals and do good debriefs and things like that. We're hoping that somewhere that common sense can meet, or can win, and we'll meet in the middle somewhere, and that skiers will be on board. This product will launch. You know, right now we're trying to work with the NSAA. We would have launched a few weeks ago, or over a month ago, but we're trying to work with their leadership and lawyers to iron out any little details that we can to make it more palatable to them. I think they're still hoping that it will just go away, and that won't be the case. You know, I started working on this, approaching the NSA about it with Doug Abermite in 2009. So it's not like it's just something that I hatched in my brain yesterday to do. It's just got to the point where we're like, okay, we're going to do this, and they'll either play or they won't play. We'll just see what happens. So that's a delay. Sorry about that. Otherwise, this thing would have been live, and you could have been participating and putting data in. For now, that is the website, avalanchenearmiss.org. So that's up, and that won't change. Right now, it's password protected. We hope that it won't be password protected at some point. The username is demo, password's Avalanche. Feel free to go on there and go nuts. You can enter fake incidents, browse through it, play with the website. We're going to wipe it clean when it does go live, so you can do whatever you want with it right now. But have a look around and see what you think. I'm going to bring it up real quick. Just show one or two things. So this is what it looks like, the live version. If we want to submit a report, you have your basic info and drop-down menus that describe what happened with a description of the event and the lessons learned being the two big things, the activity, some other stuff, could it happen again. It's mostly checkboxes. So the idea is that it's pretty quick, pretty simple to fill out. And then when you're actually looking at things, so there isn't a whole lot to the website. It's pretty simplistic by design, so people like me can understand it. And then if you view reports, right now there's just one, so this is just a dummy report that I have in there that's live. You get something like this. So it'll have the activity, sorry about that. Some basic information, description, lessons learned, and then kind of that checklist information. There's an intermediate step there when you or anyone else would submit a report. It goes through a review process, so it isn't automatically posted. So it's considered submitted, but not published. And at that point, we go through it and clean out any information. And we, meaning for now, me and Ethan and Bill, will probably be getting some sort of a advisory committee, call it what you want, but another group of folks to help do this, to help be reviewers or moderators to clean it of any proper nouns, place information, place names. So these things are truly anonymous. So anything will get scrubbed basically before it gets posted. The idea with that is, that we don't want we want to make sure that it is completely anonymous, that employers aren't pissed off that their employees put information in there because they can instantly see, oh, this happened in my operation. That's the ultimate